everyone. Today we're going to talk about the number one mistake people make when they start over or when they start fresh with something. So think about a time when you wanted to start fresh or when you did start fresh with something, whether it was a major move, whether it was a major career or job change, a relationship change, a shifting in your finances or your diet or your lifestyle. And at first, there's a lot of momentum. There's a lot of like, yes, I'm excited. Yay, let's go for this, and you really are so excited and all this energy is building up and you feel that momentum moving forward. Then all of a sudden you realize that, a couple weeks, couple months, maybe even a couple years, you kind of start to fizzle out and you're just like, where's the momentum? And it starts to resemble your past or what you wanted to get away from. And the whole reason why you wanted to get away from the things in your past was because, they didn't serve you and because you wanted that fresh new energy. Now, when you notice this, many times you notice that you will lack creativity, you'll lack energy, you'll feel stuck or blocked, or some kind of dissonant energy like, I don't understand why this is repeating itself in my life, or why this fresh start didn't take, or this new start didn't take, and why all these old things keep repeating themselves, or why these things from the past keep kind of coming up and coming up and coming up. So that's what we're going to talk about today, is tying up loose ends so that they don't interfere with your fresh start. And that's the number one mistake that people make, is not tying up these loose ends or finishing up things from the past. For example, let's just say that you are in a career, and in your career you've got all this communication issues with your higher ups and the people that are underneath you in the echelon of the work pyramid. And so you say, oh, forget this, I'm just gonna start a new career. So you go start a new career and the same thing starts happening. All these communication issues start rearing its ugly head. Maybe you have a relationship where the same thing, there's these communication issues, or there's certain little triggers that keep getting triggered while you're in that relationship. Let's just say that your finances, you have filed bankruptcy in hopes that you'll start over, and then you get a couple credit cards, and then you max them out, and then you find yourself in the same predicament going, dang it, I didn't want to charge up all these cards again. Or maybe you've lost 20 pounds and then you've gained it all back again. And these repeat patterns or these things from the past creep in because many times we try to start over before we address those things that have caused the reason why we wanted to start over in the first place. So for the career or the relationship, if it's a communication issue or trust issue or triggers, address those triggers. Really allow yourself to look at what buttons are being pushed and how they're being pushed and why they're being pushed. If it's your diet, look at those foods that you're choosing to bring into your home. If it's finances, look at old habits in your old money story. So this week's challenge is all about identifying and figuring out what these old loose ends are. And once you identify them, figure out what to do with them, and then take action steps to finish them up. So the first step for this week's challenge is to do a brain dump. Now this is a fabulous, fabulous exercise. This is from David Allen and his fabulous book, Getting Things Done. And basically what you do is you sit down with a piece of paper or several pieces of paper and just dump everything from your brain on the piece of paper. So anything that's bothering you, anything that is going through your mind. Now specifically for this week's challenge, write down those things that you feel are loose ends. Now, examples of what loose ends might be, especially if you're starting over in a specific area of your life. So for an entrepreneur, it could be finishing up old projects, it could be paying off old taxes or making a payment plan for your taxes. It could be setting up a team for your business so that you don't feel overwhelmed because maybe that was something that you felt in the past. Any filing, any old projects that you started and you kind of, brushed away and not really finished. Finances, again, if you filed bankruptcy in the past or you've overspent on your credit cards or you're in the hole, write all that down. If you're in a relationship, any resentments, grudges, any repeat patterns that you see repeating over and over and over again. For your house or your home or your car, is there any repairs that need to be done? Painting that needs to be done? Is it cluttered? Is there any maintenance that you need to look at? Again, for projects, it could be craft projects, yard projects, home projects, photo projects. I mean, all kinds of different projects, all little, most people will have 1 or 2 projects just kind of sitting about saying, yeah, I started this, I just haven't gotten around to finish it up yet. For diet, look at your old habits for your diet. Look at things from your diet that just keep coming up. Same with your lifestyle, your social environment. How is that supporting your old lifestyle versus your new lifestyle, and have you chosen to make those changes? So allow yourself during this brain dump to look at all these different facets, especially the one that you are trying to start fresh or over in. So once you identify and just dump out all the stuff from your brain, identify and look at those things that you really want to address and you really want to do, and say, okay, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. I'm not really into that whole crafting project I was into 5 years ago that's still in the garage. I think I'm gonna trash that. So figure out those things that you really want to complete and finish, and then those things that you don't really care about anymore. And those things that you don't really care about anymore, allow yourself to release those or get rid of them or just be done with them. And then look at those things that you really want to address. Now, the next step is to rate those particular things. So how much do they drain your energy? How much do they, each time that you see them or think about them or look at them, do you go, oh? And I would recommend that you do the biggest energy drain first. Reason being is because if you allow yourself to tackle that one first, that is a huge, huge energy drain off your plate. And immediately you're gonna feel so much more empowered, so much more energized, and so much more confident to tackle those other things on your list. Now, one of the things that I would recommend you to do is to look at where you can hire an expert to help you. You can do an energy exchange if you don't have the finances to do it. Ask. Most people will do some type of energy exchange or payment plan. But if you are, let's just say that you have finances and you've got debt and you don't want to be in debt again, but you want to start over with your finances, seek out a financial expert. Most financial experts will have some sort of introductory, complimentary meeting with them that you can glean some sort of guidance from. There's tons of books, tons of programs out there if you just do a little bit of research. If you have relationship issues and you see the same relationship patterns surfacing over and over and over again, and every time that you start a new relationship, you find that that same thing keeps repeating, seek out a therapist, whether it's a couples therapist or just an individual therapist. Allow yourself to be honest with yourself about these things that keep happening or coming up in your relationships, and work on them. And when you work on them and address them, then they won't be an issue in your next relationship. For your diet, look at how honest you are with yourself about what you're really eating. There's tons of tools out there. There's MyFitnessPal. There's all kinds of great stuff that you can use to help track what you eat and your exercise and the quality of your food. It's the higher quality food, typically the more of it you can eat, like fruits and vegetables and lean proteins and nuts and whatnot. So allow yourself to really be honest and look at where you are in each of these facets or avenues in your life, and get really honest with yourself about where to go next, who to speak to, who to talk with. Sometimes it's just talking with your peeps. I mean, so many people want to start fresh with their spiritual practice and have really no idea where to turn to next or where to go. If that's the case, one of the things that I would recommend that you do is to just find a happy place, whether it's outside or on a meditation pillow or at the water park. Find your happy place, go within, center your energy, and ask yourself, ask your higher self, ask your peeps, your spirit guides, what's the next step? What's the next best action for you in your spiritual practice? Ask them to show you a mentor or a teacher that can convey some type of spiritual something that will really allow you to look at your stuff from the past, clean it up, clear it up, tie up those loose ends so that you can move forward in a healthy manner and an empowered manner so that you can feel more clear and more sure of yourself during the next several weeks, months, and years. So that's this week's challenge. Do a brain dump in all the facets or avenues of your life that you want to start fresh in. Identify those ones that you want to work on and the ones that you're just, yeah, I'm done with that. And the things that you want to work on, identify the biggest energy drains, and I would recommend doing the biggest energy drains first, tackling those first. And usually they wrap up quite nicely and very quickly too. Then allow yourself to get honest with yourself about what you're capable of handling yourself and what you're not capable of handling yourself. And then when the time is appropriate, hire a professional or seek out professional advice, whether it's through columns, through magazines, through videos, through articles, whatever it is, through books, and allow yourself to really work on your stuff. And when you work on your stuff, that will help you to wrap up those loose ends and to finally be finished with those things from the past so that when you do start fresh, you literally and truly are starting fresh with a new perspective and a new way of living. And this is a super easy way to help simplify your life. And those of you who have been following me for a long time know that I'm all about simplification. So allow yourself to simplify your life by tying up all these loose ends. And this is a surefire way to become fearlessly inspired. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, or any other social media platform, as well as an email. If you really loved it, please subscribe so you won't miss one single episode of Fearless Friday. Until next week, I'm wishing you a fearless and fabulous day. Mwah!